All right, y'all. Salute everybody tapping on in. Appreciate y'all coming in the building. Shout out to the brother Roosevelt Slaughter coming through that cash app with that $20 donation. And salute to Kim Davis in the cash app with the donation. Much love to both of y'all. And I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. Everybody else that support me. I love y'all. I appreciate all of y'all who continue to show me love, uplift me, and just believe in the content that I put out. And if you do, you guys can support the channel. The link's pinned at the top, right? So let's get right into it, man. And I want to talk about this situation with Shannon Sharpe, man. Shannon Sharpe, you down bad, brother. And you was a scumbag, brother. You are disrespectful, dishonorable, disgraceful. You a slime bag. And I'm gonna just say it how it is, brother. And you ain't right. You out of pocket. And this is the reason why when Shannon Sharpe got them allegations from that girl, I didn't stand behind Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe didn't stand behind himself when Jason Whitlock came out and said that there was an ongoing joke in NFL locker rooms. There was an ongoing saying, not joke. It was a saying that Shannon Sharpe would say that if you ever see a black woman on his arm, he was holding her for the police. Now, Shannon Sharpe never sent Jason Whitlock a cease and desist. Shannon Sharpe never sued Jason Whitlock, and he never accused Jason Whitlock of lying on him with those statements. And matter of fact, from what we know, he still has not addressed those allegations from Jason Whitlock. So we waiting on him to address those allegations from Jason Whitlock. But this is about something bigger than Jason Whitlock. Shannon Sharpe is an absolute disgrace. And this is why I lost all due respect for this clown, even though I tried to hold it up for him because of what he was doing with Club Shay Shay and everything he was doing on his own as far as how he built up his networks and stuff like that. The whole situation that happened with him with Skip, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to have his back. When you find out that you have a dude's back like this, and this dude is still going to do the same things that he always do, which is be hypocritical, talk shit about everybody else, and then live a lie. Point blank, period. This is what Shannon Sharpe do. So the other day, Russell Westbrook, who's an NBA Hall of Famer and a superstar, right? I want to reiterate this. Russell Westbrook, who is a NBA Hall of Famer, right? Hall of Famer, right? And NBA superstar, right? I want to say this to y'all. Do you guys remember when Skip Bayless disrespected Shannon Sharpe beyond no return? What Shannon Sharpe said to Skip Bayless? Shannon told Skip Bayless that I'm in the effing Hall of Fame. What did you? But Shannon Sharpe is a piece of trailer. He's a piece of trash, in my opinion. And I'm gonna tell y'all why. I want y'all to listen up very closely because I'm gonna get surgical with what he did. Because what he did yesterday was absolutely disgusting. Now let's get into it.
Tom Brady had a problem. You said Tom Brady should have had a problem with Byron after Tom Brady and Byron Leftwich comes up with a game plan. And here's a guy that was not in the meeting when they came up with it, come in with his red pen scratching out stuff. Yep. Now Tom Brady is not up because most coaches and NFL coaches work between 80 and 100 hours in a 5-6 day week. So Tom Brady the night before, he's making tweaks when he didn't stay up those 80 to 100 hours. So shouldn't they have a problem with that?
Who do you think watches more tape, Tom Brady or all the coaches?
All the coaches.
Stop it.
All the coaches. I'm not going to let you do it.
No,
I'm not going to let you do it. I
it
don't care. I'm not going to let you be disrespectful to these damn coaches because you love Tom Brady. Tom Brady does not watch more tape than coaches.
Now let's stop right there. He said he was not going to let Skip Bayless be disrespectful to those coaches because of his love for Tom Brady. Well, Shannon Sharpe, your punk ass allowed people to be disrespectful to Darvin Ham because of your love for your boot thing, LeBron James, sir. What about that? What about that? You're a flaming hypocrite, and tonight I'm going to stir-fry you for what you did. I'm going to tell everybody what you did. You are a liar, and you are a capper, sir. And if you want any smoke, this ain't the chimney to come up right here. I'm telling you this right now. You sat up there and ran your mouth talking about the coaches versus Tom Brady, but you sat up there and you questioned Darvin Ham, who went to the Western Conference Finals in year one. And you talked about Darvin Ham like a dog, all for LeBron James. So wouldn't Skip's logic be the same thing? Is that bull-ish you spewing on? But let's keep going. I'm finna show y'all something.
He does not. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a flat-out lie.
That's a flat-out lie that you're perpetrating. There's never been anything, because you can't stand it.
Now, Shannon Sharpe says that, right? But if you ask Shannon Sharpe the same thing about LeBron James and the coaches, Shannon Sharpe will sit right up there and say, "Oh yeah, LeBron James, he's the smartest player to ever play the game. He's smarter than the coaches." So if you ask him, did he ever watch more film than the coaches? This buffoon will say, "Yeah, he do watch more film," but he didn't say that about Tom Brady. He got mad at Skip because Skip said Tom Brady watched more video than the coaches. But if it was about LeBron James, Triple Bass Mouth would have said the same thing. But let's keep going. Y'all finna get to my point tonight. I'm finna stir fry this dude. He deserved to get cooked.
Tom Brady at 45 is still playing this game at a very high level. Yeah.
Do you see these numbers?
Yeah.
These numbers say Tom Brady's not playing at the high level.
I need you.
No,
Okay, you're
that's
in the
not what
Hall of
it's about.
Fame because you're scared to death of him because he's haunted you. Time out. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I would like to announce the fact, if you're new to our show, that this man for 6 straight years on this show that we have been partners at this debate desk has tried to send Tom Brady home, said he's washed up, his arm is in decline, and he should just go on home. It started the first day of this show in September of 2016, and he has been wrong for 6 straight years, and he's going to be wrong again. I'm standing by what I say.
How convinced are you Tom Brady's going to win the Super Bowl?
Okay, I picked him to win it. I'm not backing off.
Well, put something on it.
Well, what do you mean? I put my pride on it. I put my pride.
That's what I would do.
Who did you pick? You picked the Rams and the Chargers, okay?
And the only difference is everybody knows the Rams are bad, but they don't want to say Tom Brady is playing just as bad as last time. Skip, they're in the terrible division. They're in the worst division in football.
Good. Are they going to be in the playoffs? Help me out.
Skip,
I need you to.
That's your argument.
Okay,
that's your argument.
What do you mean that's my argument?
Your argument is that they're going to be in the playoffs. Is Tom Brady playing bad? Yes or no?
Yes, he played poorly yesterday.
What do you mean yesterday?
Okay,
all year.
But you're giving him 100% of the blame?
Because
That's just, you have no objectivity. It's just straight Brady hate. Wait a minute. This is just straight hate by a guy who's jealous that he's still playing at a high level at 45 when you had to stop at 35.
That's what you do.
That's the point.
That's what you do. Every time I call something into question, I'm jealous.
No.
Yeah, I did what I
never
did.
said you were jealous of Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, I did what I did. You make it seem like I was a bum. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame.
Time out. I'm in the effing Hall of Fame. Well, so is Russell Westbrook, you weak weasel, like Kwame Brown say. So is Russell Westbrook. But you sit up there and talk about Russell Westbrook like a dog every day. Russell Westbrook's in the effing Hall of Fame, Shannon Sharpe, and you know he going there first ballot, you weak weasel. But you sit up there and you do all that shit you was sitting there arguing and skipping us about. But let me tell y'all what happened. So after this was a hit piece going on Russell Westbrook, NBA superstar, Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer. Russell Westbrook was not signed. And a lot of people did not think that Russell Westbrook was going to be signed, right? So a lot of people thought that Russell Westbrook's career was over with. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Russell Westbrook the other day, he signed with the Sacramento Kings. Now, when he signed with the Sacramento Kings, you guys, Shannon Sharpe took his ass on his show to once again go out of his way to degrade a future Hall of Famer. Now, Shannon Sharpe, right, he reacted to Russell Westbrook signing with the Sacramento Kings by addressing the surrounding controversy, y'all, over Russell Westbrook's career trajectory. Now, he specifically, right, we all remember that a couple days ago, Patrick Beverley came out and blamed the Los Angeles Lakers for Russell Westbrook's demise and the criticism that he faced there, which Beverley argued had haunted Russell Westbrook's free agency ever since. Now, Shannon Sharpe, he came out of nowhere. He ain't even had nothing to do with this conversation. He came out of nowhere and pushed strongly against that narrative, defending the Lakers, the same Lakers that he's bashing right now for what's going on with LeBron James. But he defended those Lakers when it went against Russell Westbrook, shucking and jiving. This is why I didn't stand up for this clown. I'm finna stir fry this nigga. So while he defended the Lakers and tore down Russell Westbrook and talked about his limitations right now in his career, now he framed the Sacramento Kings signing, which is a 1-year veteran minimum deal as a backup to Dennis Schroeder, as a fresh opportunity to emphasize that Russell Westbrook's challenges are self-inflicted rather than a product of unfair treatment in LA. Now, Shannon Sharpe reiterated his long-held viewpoint that pairing Russell Westbrook with LeBron James was always doomed due to their overlapping ball dominant styles. Now, he dissed Pat Beverly's blame game, saying the organization is not responsible for a mismatch they inherited. They are, because it was your boy, who you praise, LeBron James, who pushed them to go get Russell Westbrook over the guy they really wanted to get that's playing over there with the Sacramento Kings right now, and who they call Debo, right? The guard. You know who I'm talking about, DeMar DeRozan, chump. Now, also, Shannon Sharpe noted that Russell Westbrook is an energy guy who plays hard, but he says he's turnover prone. But he doesn't talk about the turnovers from LeBron James, who leads the league in turnovers for how many years in his career he was up there as one of the league leaders, and his sorry bum-ass son, who don't have a deserve a spot in the league. Shannon Sharpe don't never criticize that weak bum, weak weasel of a son LeBron James got, that scrub who turned the ball over like a hot potato. But he'll sit up there and talk about a Hall of Fame. Russell Westbrook's in the effing Hall of Fame, Shannon Sharpe. Wide, triple bass mouth. But let's keep going, right? So he calls him a poor shooter, right? He says, right, his career playoff from three is proving his point. That this, I'm just trying to show y'all, Shannon Sharpe is a weak weasel. Let me say this to y'all again. Shannon Sharpe is a weak weasel. There ain't even no other question about this. This dude is a weak-ass weasel, y'all. But let's keep going. Let's dig a little bit further into Shannon Sharpe, right? So, excuse me, I'm a little bit sick, but I'm going to cook this clown. Shannon Sharpe also came out and said that Russell Westbrook's not an elite defender, issues that he says exaggerated by his declining athleticism, not external factors. Now, Shannon Sharpe also said he didn't explicitly praise or criticize the Kings' roster decision, which adds to an already guard-heavy lineup with Schroeder, Levine, DeMar DeRozan, and Malik Monk, but he implied that it's a low-risk move for a non-contender like Sacramento, where Russell Westbrook can contribute without the pressure of a super team. You know, like your man like to do, your boo thing, like to build up them super teams, right? So on Nightcap, back on October the 16th when this went down, Shannon Sharpe, who hating on a brother, right? Hating on another black man, right? Because remember now, everybody want to take off this bum when that girl came out there and shook his ass down. Big country lisp. Shook his ass, shook his shucking and jiving arse down, right? Shannon Sharpe, right? He ran to the community, man. Y'all gotta help me, man. They're trying to tear down a black man. But when he was doing all this talking about Russell Westbrook and trying to end Russell Westbrook's career, what was that? What was that when you tried to end Russell Westbrook's career, Playboy? So now let's get into this, y'all. He also came out and said, you guys, right? He talked about why he thinks teams hesitated beyond the LA fallout on signing Russell Westbrook. He says Russell Westbrook is turnover prone, right? Russell Westbrook is turnover prone. He's not a great shooter. He's not a great defender. Yeah, he's an energy guy. He's going to play hard all the time. But at this stage in his career, he's not what he once was. Neither is LeBron James, but you still get on your knees for him every day, Shannon Sharpe. Now, he also referenced an outlier season saying, are we going to take one good three-point year? Are we going to take what he's done in his career in the playoffs from the three-point line? Well, what about LeBron James? LeBron James wasn't a great three-point shooter his whole career, Shannon Sharpe. Are we going to take 1 or 2 years that LeBron James shot well? Or are we going to take what we saw from that bum most of his career, right? But here's the thing, y'all. They got me so mad because everybody, and I want to say this. This is another reason why. When I seen how hypocritical this dude was, I stopped rocking with this dude because I was taking up for him. When everybody was calling him Zesty, I was one of the few ones taking up for him. When he got out there in that picture and his legs was all cocked and he had that green doo-doo suit on and everybody was stir-frying this dude, who was out here standing up and taking up for this bum? Me. I was doing it. I was out here standing up for him saying that he ain't Zesty, that they doing him dirty, they disrespecting him, they talking about him like a dog. I did that. I took up for his ass, right? But that's not good enough. But I want to get to this. I want y'all to think about something that this bum did. Not only did Shannon Sharpe sit out here and cry that Tony Busby was targeting black men, right? And he was hooting and hollering about how they was trying to do him dirty, right? He did the same thing to Russell Westbrook and tried to make sure Russell Westbrook never got any more checks from the National Basketball Association ever again. He tried to stop. I want y'all to think about this. Shannon Sharpe was so diabolical. He literally tried to stop Russell Westbrook's checks since he played with the Lakers. Since he played with his boy LeBron James, he have tried to stop Russell Westbrook from getting checks in the National Basketball Association with his outlandish, disrespectful, and outrageous criticism of an effing Hall of Famer. The same thing he told Skip Bayless he was. Now, I want y'all to look at the hypocrisy of this bum. And this is why everybody who was coming out saying, oh man, we got to stand behind Shay Sharpe. I love my brothers. 100. I'm not standing behind these punks. These dudes is weak weasels. And they show y'all this every time with how they move. They deserve to get cooked. Shannon Sharpe don't want a hypocrite. Now let's get into it, right? We're going to get right into it. You guys remember the age gap relationships and dating younger women thing Shannon Sharpe had going on? So Shannon Sharpe, we all know, he's frequently, and everybody who watches his show, y'all know I ain't lying, he's frequently criticized others for pursuing relationships with significantly younger partners. Yet, he faced accusations, y'all, right? Shannon Sharpe faced accusations, right? And we're gonna get this all clear, right? He faced accusations of doing the same thing, often with even larger age disparities. Now, remember that Club Shay Shay interview where Shannon Sharpe pressed the comedian Donnell Rawlings about a 23-year age gap he had with Stephanie George? Now, Rawlings was 46 years old when he started dating Stephanie George. She was 23. Now, he basically suggested that Rawlings should date her mother instead, and implying that the relationship that Donnell Rawlings had with that 23-year-old girl when he was 46 was inappropriate. Now, Stephanie George later came out on social media and called out Shannon Sharpe for his audacity and his being delusional after he was accused this year in a lawsuit of misconduct, including R-wording that girl on your screen and non-consensual recording during a relationship with a 19-year-old woman, even though he was 56 years old at the time with his buck dancing ass. Now, she highlighted the irony, noting her age was at least 21 years old. She was 23 when she was dating Donnell Rawlings, who was 46, and accused Shannon Sharpe of projecting while acting as if this mofo is the moral goddamn police. Now, Shannon Sharpe also has publicly praised younger women for being compliant. Shannon Sharpe said, it's them young ones that'll do what you want, end quote. That's his quote. While complaining about older women's independence, which critics tied to his alleged pursuit of a teenager. Now, this contrasted with the advice he received from Monique on Club Shay Shay, who warned him, right, against dating much younger women, y'all, saying you better take your old ass and get somebody that love you. And shout out to my brother 78 Sports TV. He dropped a video yesterday, and y'all need to go check that video out. Shannon Sharpe hinting that he might be getting married soon. Now, who is he getting married to? Is Shannon Sharpe getting, or is he gonna be with another snow bunny? That question has to be asked. That, because you can't go through all this, say they're trying to target a black man, have them tell you what it is, and then you come on here again, and you do the same thing you've been doing your whole career, right? And I thought 7A did an excellent job of breaking that video down about how chocolatey dudes like, Shannon Sharpe and them dudes get teased growing up, and people didn't know they was gonna grow up to be who they were. But if you look at their pictures when they're younger, people was clowning these dudes. Shannon Sharpe had a gap bigger than the Atlantic Ocean. He could part the Red Sea with that gap he had in his mouth when he was younger. So everybody's seen this. You know what I'm saying? He had a 1977 part in 1993, right? So we seen all this, and he still got that same part today. But we seen all this, right? With this dude out here capping and talking all this shit about everybody else. But check it out, y'all. In the context of his 2025 allegations, critics noticed that Shannon Sharpe's hypocrisy in his past judgments on figures like Donald Trump for similar misconduct claims, while dismissing his own accuser's evidence, meaning text messages and audio where he allegedly threatened violence. Now, what about Shannon Sharpe's double standards and criticizing athletes and accountability. Let's talk about Russell Westbrook versus LeBron James with this weak weasel. And shout out to Kwame Brown. I love using that word that he put out there because this nigga is a weak weasel. Now let's keep going to it since he want to tear down Russell Westbrook. Now, Shannon Sharpe has been vocal about athletes taking responsibility for their poor performances, but he applies inconsistent standards based on his personal biases, and we know this. He repeatedly criticized Russell Westbrook for lacking accountability after losses of games, y'all, avoiding the media, being a sore loser, and not speaking up during Russell Westbrook's Laker tenure and beyond, even producing no accountability segments on Russell Westbrook. However, he overlooked similar behaviors from his boot thing, LeBron Ramon James, such as walking out on the media or refusing to handshakes after defeats, walking out the gym 2-3 minutes with left in the game without the same scrutiny he gave Russell Westbrook. Now, his critics be arguing that this stemmed from his favoritism towards LeBron James, who he calls his GOAT. Now, also, what about Shannon Sharpe capping ass in his hypocrisy with his use of slang and cultural commentary, y'all? Now, Shannon Sharpe, he's criticized, right, immature and overused slang, but he's engaged in it himself. Oh, capping ass. So on a live stream with Ocho, y'all, Shay Sharpe, he used the term pause. You know the term that Dane Dash be using, right? So that's the slang y'all already know to clarify non-sexual intent, and laughed at it after he used it. But later, he ran it against viewers overusing that word, calling it childish for adults. He said, y'all grown and y'all want to play kid is G-A-Y is what he said, Shannon Sharpe. Now, Cam Newton called his bum ass out for this contradiction, tying it to Shannon Sharpe's defensive responses to criticism and accusing his bum of staging drama to go viral. Now, also, what about Shannon Sharpe playing victim in the media while doing the same thing to everybody else? Now, Shannon Sharpe, we all know, he's complained about being unfairly targeted by media figures, yet built his career on similar tactics. Now, in a discussion with Cam Newton, Shannon Sharpe expressed that frustration over podcasters and independent media attacking him without what he called personal knowledge, portraying himself as a victim. Now, Marcellus Wiley, he countered this by noting that Shannon Sharpe do the exact same thing on TV, criticizing athletes like Michael Jordan to boost his boot thing, LeBron James. Russell Westbrook, Kyrie Irving, and Kwame Brown criticizing them for content and for ratings. Now, without direct conversations, Cam Newton called him out on that shit. Now, Marcellus Wiley called him out on that, excuse me. Now, Marcellus Wiley highlighted that the get-along game, right, dynamic or TV personalities avoid criticizing each other, but freely target outsiders. That's what Kwame Brown talked about. He talked about it's a game, and it's called a go-along, get-along game. And you got to go along to get along with this game. And if you don't go along, you will not get along with this game. These are just how it goes, y'all. I'm just keeping it real with y'all, man. This is what Shannon Sharpe do, right? So he repeatedly criticized Ray Lewis, right? Right? Now, Ray Lewis criticized Shannon Sharpe's podcast content choices, right? But some people try to go in on Ray Lewis and say he was the hypocrite, which he is too, but Shannon Sharpe doing the same goddamn thing. Now, what about his inconsistent statements and stances on athlete safety and risk? Now, Shannon Sharpe, capping ass, has advised athletes against unnecessary risk, but his own behavior contradicts this, right? Shout out to the beautiful Jennifer Menzies in the building. Salute to her, man. Jennifer, I love you. I appreciate everything you do. You already know what it is. Beautiful in your soul. So he called Lamar Jackson dumb, y'all. Now, I want y'all to think about this. Shannon Sharpe called Lamar Jackson dumb for playing casual football outside with kids, warning that it could jeopardize his career money, right? This is what Shannon Sharpe did, right? He warned, oh, it could jeopardize your career money. This is what Shannon Sharpe did, right? That could jeopardize your career money, right? And your money. But critics pointed out the irony of when Shannon Sharpe's own controversial actions, right? The 2025 allegations and the accidental, quote unquote accidental, Instagram Live incident led to professional fallout with ESPN, including a lawsuit and his contract issues. Now, what about his hypocritical remarks on Patty Mahomes? Now, on First Take, Shannon Sharpe made comments about Patrick Mahomes that Ryan Clark called hypocritical. Now, Clark took aim at Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Snitch for inconsistent praise or criticism of Patrick Mahomes, though specifics focus on Shannon Sharpe shifting narratives around quarterbacks based on his content. Now, on context. Now, what about the fan and player interactions? Shannon Sharpe, capping and lying ass, have been out here condemning fan interference with players, but he engaged in a similar behavior. Now, he's argued that fans who interact negatively with players should be banned for life. But yet, during a Laker game in 2023, he yelled at players from courtside, leading to a confrontation and his temporary removal from the arena during that game against the Memphis Grizzlies, where he, as a fan, should have been banned for life with his cap and lying ass. But he tried to go out there in the name of LeBron James, who left his sorry, weak, weasel ass high and dry when he saw what was going on and walked to the back when this man was getting ready to get his ass kicked by the entire Memphis Grizzlies roster. Remember that? Remember, this man was finna fight a whole roster for LeBron James. Absolutely effing disgusting. And everybody remember that. What about Shannon Sharpe's cultural and social commentary, I should say, right? Hair and preferences and shit he's talked about with that. Right, he faced backlash because of comments that clash with his advocacy for respect, right? So he's advocated for respect, but he mocked a young woman's hair in a social media interaction, referencing the Meg Thee Stallion, "Don't you have another horse to rob his hair?" End quote. Which critics saw as hypocritical given his criticism of others for insensitive remarks. Now, what about in broader discussions like his take on the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins, Tua, right? His comments about not prioritizing football enough. Now, Shannon Sharpe emphasized passion mattering, but some viewed this as inconsistent with his leniency towards his favorite players. Now, Shannon Sharpe is a lying, capping, no good, Reverend Leon Lining Love type of dude. This dude literally tried to stop Russell Westbrook from getting paid. He tried to stop this man from getting checks in the NBA with his voice. But he want everybody, the whole black community, stand up and take up for his capping ass when the shit came for him. This dude is a chump. He is a weak weasel. Point blank period. I have zero level of respect for this dude. And what he has done and tried to do to Russell Westbrook, bro, listen, let me say this to you. I want to say this to y'all, right? Russell Westbrook, you can complain about a lot of things about Russ. Maybe he take too many shots. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he turned the ball over. The one thing you can't complain about this dude is he always gonna be in shape. He always coming to play. He don't miss a lot of games, and he love coming to work and do his job. And he always gonna play hard. You can never complain about that with that dude, right? But Shannon Sharpe, right? He'll leave that. He'll leave anything like LeBron James. We've seen him take 2 weeks off during seasons. We're seeing what's going on with LeBron James right now. He won't talk about that shit, but he'll come out here and say any negative thing to tear down anybody. Forget just Russell Westbrook. He did the same shit to Kyrie Irving the other day. Talking about if Kyrie didn't lead LeBron. Nigga, everybody don't got to pay attention to LeBron James, nigga. He act like everybody got to get on their knees and bow down and serve LeBron James. The whole NBA. Yeah, well, Kyrie, if he didn't lead LeBron, see, I'm telling you, man, nigga, shut up. You act like everybody owe LeBron James their life, their soul. Something's wrong with this cat. I'm telling you, I have zero level of respect for a dude like Shannon Sharpe. He's a clown to me, man. And clowns deserve to get, it's a clown show for clowns. And it's one for him, because he definitely is the clown. He's a clown. But this is absolutely disgusting that this dude will run out here, push these narratives and say this stuff when you tried to destroy a black man from keeping his job. That ain't even got nothing to do with you no more. You a LeBron James fan. LeBron James don't play for the Sacramento Kings. Why have you still been worried about Russell Westbrook years after that? I want you to think about that. But these niggas don't have no smoke for a guy like Kawhi Leonard, who have not only been accused of cheating the game and trying to get paid to do nothing, right? Not only have they dropped receipts, this dude ain't quiet as church mouse all this, but then they got everything to say about a dude who show up and earn his check. Shannon Sharpe is disgusting. He's disgraceful, and he's a mouthpiece for the go along, get along. And he thought that if he came out talking about, man, it's Tony Busby, he trying to do me like he did Jay-Z. Nigga, you ain't Jay-Z. Let's get that straight right. You ain't Jay-Z. We get that straight right now. You ain't won't know where in hell you was getting Jay-Z treatment. You ain't Jay-Z. So for you to come out and even try to mention Jay-Z, bro, you a chump. Like I said before, bro, you walking around, these dudes walking around with big bodies and no hearts in them, man. And I can't never respect dude because he went to TV every single day and tried to get this man who comes and shows up to do his job all the time. It's rare when Russell Westbrook misses a game. And a guy play hard all the time. You've never questioned this dude's effort. The only thing I'll question is Russell Westbrook's zesty ass suits and his goddamn going jacking up a whole bunch of shots. Other than that, you cannot question how hard this dude played. You cannot question his commitment and his dedication to the game, to the sport. The man is a Hall of Famer, and ain't nothing Shannon Sharpe can say can take that away. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all, when they try to do this shit to Carmelo, they try to do this shit to all these brothers at some point in time. Now, why they haven't done it to LeBron James? LeBron James out here pulling out all these stunts. But notice they ain't trying to run him off. The media ain't trying to run him off. The mainstream media ain't. Notice all the fans, a majority of the fans, the line is tilting. See, I want y'all to think about something. When Michael Jordan came to his last years, people didn't want Michael Jordan to go. They really wanted Michael Jordan to stay. When Michael Jordan, the first time he left, they wanted him to stay. The second time he left, they wanted him to stay. Then when he came back with the Wizards, they still didn't want him to go. But think about this shit with Russell, with how they treated Russell Westbrook. And then think about how the mainstream media is capping for LeBron James. This nigga out here pulling all these weak weasel stunts. And ain't nobody in the mainstream media trying to get this bum out of here. Let y'all know everything y'all need to know. Like, share, and subscribe. Salute to everybody tapped on in. I already know what it is. Salute to everybody supported this stream. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe. Once again, there are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drought weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.